Hello and welcome to The Ripple Effect. I am Selena. So I once heard there is nothing worse than a fool than an old fool. And this topic is talking about growth. Like sometimes, ladies, this may be hard to hear, especially in the beginning of the video, but we're going to need to grow up and mature. That's just it. That's just plain and simple. That's just it. Now, if you like where you are and things in your life are turning out very in a positive manner, productively, then this message may not be for you. But for those of us who you need to grow, like if you are doing things in your 20s, in your 30s, and in your 40s, okay, and they did not produce a positive result, if you didn't like it then, what makes you think that it's going to be good for you 10, 20 years down the line, especially if the experience left you heartbroken? There needs to come a time where you have to learn. So for me, after I had went through such a terrible and toxic marriage and God brought me through that and healed me, I had to get back to basics. Let me get in that word. Let me find out as much as I can as possible about growing, about becoming the best person that I can be. So I love to read. That's just a blessing, a gift God gave me. So whatever book was out there outside of the Holy Bible that had to deal with relationships, personal growth. I read a lot of, I love Dr. Miles Monroe, Joyce Myers. Um, what else? I read a book by Tony Gaskins. He's a relationship coach. I read, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, just a lot of different literature to educate myself on relationships and just personal aspects of myself. Because growing up, I didn't have that. I'm a product of divorce, so I didn't have that. I didn't have a blueprint of a successful relationship, of a successful marriage. That's not what I have. And not to fault my parents, it's just how their life turned out. And, us being the result of that. But there comes a time where you have to take time to grow, to realize what things in your life that you're not happy with that you're willing to change. Be willing to do the work. Because what I talk about is not easy. There's not a plan that I'm saying was easy work, but I was able to achieve it. Granted, there are some things that I'm still working on, but I was able to do the work, to put in the time to educate myself, to figure out what was it about life? What was it about me? What was it about the relationships? How did God create man? How was our lives supposed to be intertwined, meaning between husband and wife? What was my relationship with God? How does that affect my relationship with everyone else? Because the scripture is very clear when he tells us that to love our neighbor as ourselves. But a lot of people miss that. It's to love them how we love ourselves. So if you do not love yourself, if you are doing things that are detrimental to you, how can you expect that you're going to treat another person well? It's just not possible. And I understand that now through a lot of hurt and trials and tribulations. I understand that. I was able to experience that because I could see people who do not love themselves, because it's expressed in how they show up in the world and how they treat you. So another aspect I had to, know is that sometimes, the majority of times, how people treat you is not an accident. Understand that. It's not an accident. There can be an accident. Oops, I didn't mean to say that, but it was in them. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what are you saying to the person? And even what are you saying to yourself about you? If you don't like something about yourself, or you realize, okay, I do not love myself. And for those of us who are parents, take it seriously. Don't be the one to continue the generational curse. Be the one to break it, to love your children, to teach them, to heal them. Heal your brokenness and be willing to grow and do the work. So as always, don't forget to join the OAC Nation by subscribing, and thank you so much for watching.